Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Tech Desk. My name is Dale and I am here today to talk to you about the upcoming SAE Olympics. Now, some of you may have heard that this Olympics is going to be running concurrently to the actual Olympics, but this one is just going to be way better. So a couple of things about the Olympics you may not know is that we do have an event running every day for the next 2 weeks. So you always have an opportunity to jump in on something. You are not locked into an event that is not your discipline. If you're an audio student and you want to compete in the film student events, you are absolutely welcome to. But even more than that, we encourage you to do that. And the reason for that is at the end of the SAE Olympics, we're going to determine, based on the amount of participants and points that are scored, who is the best discipline of them all. Last time it was film, and we can't let them win again, so make sure you jump in. Now, I'm about to go through a bit of a play-by-play of the next 2 weeks and walk you through what the schedule is going to look like. So this upcoming Friday, the 26th, we have the opening ceremony for the Olympics. Now, we are sort of just making sure we fine-tune the time there, but it is going to be about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, right after some free food. That free food's going to be in the form of toasties and maybe a little bit of popcorn. It's going to be happening in the lecture theatre, and we're going to talk to you about all of the rules, give you an update on who is winning the Olympics, because remember, there are bonus points for registering, and you can register right here. So make sure you do that. And we're going to talk to you about who's winning, talk to you about the rules, and talk to you about all of the events coming up. You get a nice quick break over the weekend, and then we come back in on Monday, starting with our first Games Day. Now, the Games Day is happening from 11 p.m. and we have 2 events. One of them is called the Terrifying Tourney. That one is essentially a games tournament where you're going to be playing Super Smash Bros., the best game possibly ever. And then we're going to go into our speed running event, which is where you're going to be playing the very first level of Halo Combat Evolved, called the Pillar of Autumn. And you're going to do it as fast as you can. It's a fantastic level. I grew up with it. I'm super excited to see how everyone does. Moving along to Tuesday, from 11:30 p.m., we have our first audio day. Now, our audio events are split into 2 separate events. The first one being a mixing competition. Basically, with that, we're going to provide you a set of tracks of a genre that we're going to pick. And you have an hour to make sure you mix it as best as possible. So make sure you get your mixing ears on, because that'll be a really exciting one. After that, we have one of our favorite events from the first ever Olympics, and that is the lead rolling competition. Now, in that one, we grab a giant XLR, and it's essentially you roll that lead as best as you can, and you're judged on how neat it is and how fast your roll is. And that one's really, really exciting. Moving along to Wednesday, we have our first film event. We have 2 film events. One of them's brand new, and one of them is a returning event. And we are returning with Joking Hazard, our editing event. Essentially what this is we provide you with hundreds of clips, and you have to stitch them together to try and make some kind of cohesive story. You are allowed to use subtitles, and you are allowed to use a little bit of external footage, and of course you're allowed to use some music to try and make some sort of narrative, make me sweep me off my feet, if as it were. We're really excited for that one. And our second one is called Monologue Madness, and this is a really cool one for anyone who's likes doing a bit of acting out there. Monologue Madness is essentially that we're going to give you a prompt. So, for example, I could say what a potato looks like when it's under the ground, or what Jacob really does behind the tech desk could be another prompt that I give you. And you're going to write a monologue that's kind of just all about that kind of thing. You have to do it in about 2 minutes. The monologue has to last about 2 minutes, but you have an hour to write it. And then you're going to come to the green room and perform it. And I think that's going to be really exciting and fun. Moving along to Thursday, we have our very first animation event. We have a couple of cool animation events coming up. We have one of them returning, which is our drawing competition. Our drawing competition is the kind of competition where we're going to give you a few prompts over the course of an hour, and you're going to have to draw a scene, as it were. So it could be dinosaurs playing basketball on Mars, or a pirate ship if they were fighting the Kraken, for example. And you're going to have to slowly add all of these different elements into your picture until the end, where we basically judge them on how well they stuck to the themes. But we also have a new event The name is escaping me at the moment, but it is an animation event where essentially we provide you a scene, as it were, and it is your job to animate that scene. So we think that's going to be really cool. Moving along to our music event, which is happening on Friday from 10:30 a.m. We've got 2 music events. One of them is a performing sort of competition. So we've had this one a few times. It's called Definitely Not Like a Version, because it is definitely not like a version. You basically get to perform 2 songs in the green room. They can be any songs you want, whether they be covers or originals. And then we kind of rank you based on how either faithful or experimental your cover was. And that one's always been a real hit in the past. So we're really excited for that one. But the second one is a competition about songwriting. So we're going to give you some prompts and a time limit, and you're going to be able to use that prompt to go and write a little bit of a song, whether that's as a solo performer or as a group. And then you're going to go and write a song and then perform it in the green room. So we're really excited for that one. And that one's happening at 10:30 on the Friday, 2nd of August. Now, for the next week, which is the second week of the Olympics, I'm not going to talk about the events again, because if we have an audio day, for example, both of the other audio competitions will be happening on that day. This is just another opportunity for you to compete in those events. So Monday, the 5th of August, we have our second film day happening from 10 a.m. So make sure you come into campus and jump in on that one. Then on August the 6th, which is a Tuesday, from 10:30, we'll have our next music event. Moving on from there, on August the 7th, which is a Wednesday, from 1:30, we'll have our second lot of games events. Thursday, the 8th of August, from 11:30, we'll have our second run of animation events. And August the 9th, which is a Friday, from 12 p.m., we'll be having our last lot of audio competitions. But then later on in that day, at approximately 3:30, we're going to be having our closing ceremony. Again, at the closing ceremony, we will be providing some free food, because we know you students love that. But more importantly, we're going to be talking about who won in each discipline. So that's the highest scoring point person in each discipline, but also who was the best discipline overall. So for the first Olympics, we had animation. Second Olympics, we had film. And now it's time for someone else to take it. Common Audio, you can do this. And more on top of that, we're going to be presenting our prizes, and we can show you all the cool stuff we managed to acquire this year. Thank you for supporting us along this journey of the Olympics. We're going to have a bunch of signs around campus coming real soon, which will direct you to each event and where they are. But we're really excited for this one, so make sure you take some time to come in and participate. And don't forget, you don't have to participate in the competitions around your discipline. If you're a music student and you want to join the animation competition, you should definitely do that, because it scores you extra points, and who knows, you might even win. Thanks again. Make sure you show this video to all of your peers. Make sure you sign up to the Olympics. Make sure you work your darned hardest, because this is going to be a really cool one. And make sure you don't forget, the future is you.